What's good? What's good? What's good? Ari from Manhattan, Poppa Left, Jay from Florida. Episode 10 of the Toxic Boys podcast. We got that Spaces popping.
Yeah, it's only Chris. Chris is in here, but
It's all started though, right?
yeah, it's up.
All right, perfect. So, episode 10, we're coming to you after a 4-game winning streak. Not every day do the Knicks win 4 in a row. So I'm very interested to hear, Jay's and Papa's reaction to that. Before we get started, I want to shout out to our sponsors, Moselle, winesbymoselle.com, www.winesbymoselle.com for 10% off. Hashtag Toxic Boys with a Z. Before we get started, shout out to JJ from Brooklyn. Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to Nishi. Josh B, shout out to you. JJ from Brooklyn. Shout out to the ladies. Where's that coming from?
That's me.
Yes, yeah, I told you to mute it. All right. Shout out. What's up, Doug? How you doing? All right, man. 4-game winning streak. We'll start with you, Jay. What are your thoughts? How you feeling?
Toxic Boy's been wrong the whole time. RJ back on. Who knows, man? My thing is like, how sustainable is this 4-game winning streak? How sustainable is this playing style? Can we play real actual competition? A lot of these games we played this year, teams have been missing their main guys, right? I just want to see the Knicks for once play a completely healthy, stacked team so I can really figure out where this talent is, man, because I'm just tired of the mediocrity, man. I want to be able to go deep in the playoffs one of these years, man. You got fans that are just happy to be here, happy with the crumbs, happy with these win streaks, bro. I just want to really get a chance to measure this team and see what we got. I mean, they've been playing good, man. Randall been shooting out of his mind, but is that sustainable? Brunson every 5 seconds is getting hurt. Is that sustainable? Can Grimes stay healthy, right? Now you've alienated guys so much that you're going to have to depend on these guys that you pick, Tibbs, right? You done shit it on D Rose. You shit on Cam Reddish. Everybody else on the bench, you shattered on. Can you depend on these guys to hold a fort for all 82 games? It's a really nasty environment that they're in because he chooses to flip-flop. I've never seen an NBA team behave like a high school team in terms of flipping and changing their starting lineups and their rotations, playing different every night. Nah, when you're an NBA guy, preseason on, you know where you stand, you know what your job is. There's no changing it. You don't lose your job for injury. You don't lose your job because the coach woke up on the wrong side of the bed or had a conversation with another guy in the front office. Your job is your job. So, Tibbs, I hope you enjoy your rotation because you locked in on it, brother. Papa Left. Where are you, my boy? Oh, you throwing confetti and shaking ass over
there. You know what this is from, right?
Tip time, baby.
That's from you're like rising. The All-Star game when the All-Stars came out with D Rose and Melo.
Let me see you get loose. Freak that until your shit gets more.
This is from Game 4 when the Knicks avoided the sweep against LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh.
Right.
Apparently, the Knicks had to deal with Party City, and they dropped confetti. I'm serious. That's like what it was.
Crazy.
Bro.
But I really trying to find some enjoyment in the wins, but I'm just not sold on this regime in the slightest. And this 4-game winning streak comes on the heels of the fan base pretty much being universally, in on rooting for a loss to get Tibbs out of here when we played the Cavs last Sunday. And since then, we've been 4-0, and I feel like the conversation has changed into something completely different.
Absolutely.
But has anything really changed, right? Has anything really changed from in 7 days? Probably a little bit in terms of the play style, in terms of the effort, in terms of the control. I think that the team is playing together. I think that the agendas are kind of cut off a little bit. I
Right.
think that the competition has ceased, whether it be Cam Reddish to Quentin Grimes or Cam Reddish to RJ Barrett or Obi Toppin, by virtue of him being hurt. There's nobody behind Randall. Mitchell Robinson's pretty much holding down the center spot. Jalen Brunson, it has no Derrick Rose coming in the game at the 6-minute mark. Those guys that are coming in behind them are coming in for defensive measures.
Right.
So I think everybody's role is defined a little bit more. I think that's a positive. I don't think Cam Reddish had to be a casualty of that. I think you can perfectly add Cam Reddish into what we have going on right now, and I don't think you'd miss a beat.
Right.
But I really want to find some positivity in it. I want to root for it. I want to have some fun with it. But in my opinion, it's not necessarily the big dogs to me. It's are you really about to win? Like, can you win 7 in a row? Like, because right now you're playing Chicago on back-to-backs, and then you play Indiana. So, assuming, let's say Jalen Brunson plays, Jalen Brunson got hurt a little bit. He got a little banged up. If Brunson plays and this team wins on Wednesday, tomorrow night.
By the way, is he playing?
I think he's going to play.
Okay.
So, if Brunson and his team wins on Wednesday night, now 17 and 13 is a reality. And, I said this to Jay from Florida. I was like, if the team is going to be mid, right, and the Eastern Conference is mid, and we're going to make the playoffs, I would rather be the 4th seed than be the 8th seed. I would rather, if we're going to be in those top 6 seeds, right, definitely. Let's go higher than lower, right? It doesn't really behoove us to get. Now, if we're in the 7th to 10th seed and we're backing into the playoffs or something like that, it's kind of like a win-win, depending on how you look at it. Right. But we're in no man's land. I mean, I'm being nice about it, but we're pretty much in no man's land. People can dress up the pig all they want and put makeup on it all they want. This team's not good enough to win anything serious. They don't play the correct way. They don't have the talent to win when it counts. I was watching the Celtics last couple games. They played on ABC against the Warriors, and they missed Al Horford, and it changes the dynamic of their team completely. And you watch them play, and instead of Al Horford at the center position, and there's no Robert Williams, there's no Al Horford. So now it's Blake Griffin and Luke Cornett, It changes the team dramatically. So, we've been playing teams that, for whatever reason, like, we're the night off for a lot of teams.
Right.
Cleveland plays us without Jared Allen. Atlanta, DeJounte Murray gets hurt. They're down DeAndre Hunter that game. The next game, the Hornets completely are shot, right? There's nothing of value over there.
Right.
And then recently, Sacramento is no De'Aaron Fox. Now, to the Knicks' credit, right, the Kings played without De'Aaron Fox the night before against Cleveland and stunned them and won the game. And they were 1-1 prior to that. They lost one game without De'Aaron Fox, but it was by 3, and the Knicks really beat the shit out of them. They looked significantly better. But I'm not going to take anything away from those wins, but at the same time, it doesn't really prove anything to me other than they took care of dubs on their schedule. So
let me ask you a question, Poppa Left.
Yeah.
Do you think now the 3-point defense has been the glaring change, right, with this rotation? Do you think guys are missing shots on the opposite end, or you think that the defense has improved so much and it's causing us to win?
I think Sacramento couldn't hit a shot. I'll go down the line, right?
But
Cleveland definitely missed a bunch of shots, and their coach said it. Bickerstaff said it. Missed good shots. We lost.
Right.
Atlanta was out of sorts. Okay. It was Trae Young and a bunch of guys. They were out of sorts.
Right.
And, the Knicks bullied them a little bit. Charlotte doesn't really. I know you talked about this the other night where Terry Rozier could have hit a three to cut the lead to 2, and then go back and they pretty much pummel them from there. It is a make or miss league, but there's nothing that's keeping the Knicks from packing the paint. And I know that's how they want to play. And, they have a little bit better integrity on the perimeter with Grimes and McBride. But when you play back and forth basketball, possession to possession, we haven't really seen that.
Yeah. Heck, Rizzo came in late. Papa, look at this. Look at this comment. That's literally what it is. That's literally what it is. Oh my God, that's too good. Heck, that's literally what it is. That's what when did they avoid that sweep? The Miami series, you said?
Yeah, it was a Sunday afternoon game. The Heat, if you remember, this was the year that Amari punched the fire extinguisher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the first Melo playoff then.
Yeah.
Yo, so from what I've noticed, man, this group is a lot more willing to pass the ball to each other than the Cam Reddish group. I don't know, bro. Like, I see RJ throwing cross-court passes to Deuce, everybody getting guys involved. Like, it feels like these guys like each other a lot better than the previous group, less competition. I don't know if this is a good thing because in the NBA, Tibbs just seems to go away from coaching real stars. In the NBA, your coach's best asset is how can you control the egos in your locker room. Tibbs wants nothing to do with egos. He wants nothing to do with superstars. He just wants a group of mid-role players that he can dictate, push around, put him in his positions, and win 40 games, lose in the first round, call it a day, right? Go buy some whores in Las Vegas. He don't really care about getting deep into the playoffs, Eastern Conference Finals, getting a championship one of these days, man. It's just, I don't know, man. What the chance want, bro?
It looks like that. I mean, I have a little bit of a different take. Like, the Knicks were the almighty 4 seed, and they won 9 games in a row, and they made the playoffs, and they got shut down. I think people. Personally, if they won 10 games in a row, I wouldn't think anything different of them. It's like the Utah Jazz, man. They're the 1 seed every fucking year, and then they make the playoffs and they get bounced out the first round because when the playoffs is a different game. It's not the regular season game. Everyone's fully focused. Everyone's fully dialed in, right? And teams, especially the coaches, learn to play to your strengths and weaknesses. This is where players get exposed. This is why James Harden isn't James Harden in the playoffs. You really have to be a baller to play in the playoffs, right? And Jalen Brunson's proven that he can play in the playoffs, but I could see with this team, it doesn't matter if you have Deuce, it doesn't matter if you have energy, this team's not going to win anything in the playoffs. It's not ready to, and we shouldn't even expect that to happen. So
they haven't earned it, bro. They really haven't even earned it, man. Like
I would personally be happy with them missing the playoffs, but if they're going to make the playoffs, if you're in the playoffs already, you might as well try to fucking win. So I agree with Papa. Like, go in there, and if you're actually in the playoffs, do your best to win games because you already lost the tank situation. But
I think the team is their number one priority should be to get more talent in here, and I don't know how else to say that.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what kind of.
Yeah, but that's a tricky double-edged sword too, because it's like get talent in what sense? Like pay for talent or draft talent or develop talent?
I think of it from this perspective. I think of it like we're so centric on what the assets the Knicks have, and I think we don't look at it from a market perspective. Like, what are other teams looking to do, and who are they looking to trade with, right? Let's say the Knicks finish 43-39 this year, and Washington has their protected pick, right?
Right.
Dallas
pick is like a 17th pick, so the Knicks would have like the 16th pick and the 17th pick and a bunch of future picks that clearly aren't going to convey into anything that's worth trading for, like, do I want the Knicks stable of picks, or do I want to go up and get somebody that I've identified like right now, and I want to improve my team right now?
Right, that's
So
the
there's going to be
dilemma.
15 teams that have, they're not 15, but there's going to be like a solid bunch of like 0 to like 9 teams,
Right.
1 to 9 teams that are really going to be set up to, if they want to go get somebody of instant, franchise changer value. And we're kind of just in this, hey, we can get incrementally better here. We're basically going to try to do what we failed at after the Hawks season. That's what I feel like.
Bro, you've been saying it. I mean, shit, man. You've been saying this for a couple of years. I mean, in the beginning of the season, you said that it's more likely they make a win now move. In the summer, you were saying that we haven't earned certain types of players. So organizations got to earn shit, man. They got to put the work in to be able to reap the rewards of these guys, right? In a space earlier, they were talking about it's good if our young players see another playoff series, right? But I'm thinking to myself, like, what's the good of a playoff series for the young guys if Brunson, RJ, and Randall are in the 30th percentile in usage, and your young guys in the 10th percentile of usage, right?
I had this conversation with Sean on his space, and like, there's this idea that if you get in the playoffs, that everybody's value increases, and
that's absolute nonsense. What happened last time when Randall made the playoffs?
No.
What are you talking
I
about?
think that's brought up James Harden.
Down.
Who wants to identify James Harden as the guy? Nobody, right? He's a supporting player. Obviously, guys like Jerome James, right? You could have a great playoff and it could be fool's gold. I don't think you don't look at improving this team within the confines of this season. You look at it on more of a long-term view. And unfortunately, I mean, we're kidding ourselves if we think that this front office is going to sacrifice immediate, wins or, prioritize a full-length, 5-year plan over, jumping the gun. And I think the place that we get caught in is, they haven't made the big move yet, but they've made a lot of fireable, like, what the hell are you doing moves that are just never going to be held accountable because they keep winning games and it just keeps delaying them, giving them more time,
Right.
Giving players more of a leash, giving, the hives get reactivated, and we're on this endless loop of mediocrity. And I don't enjoy it. And that's why at this point, if you're going to win 4 in a row, win 7 in a row. Like, if you're going to be mid, separate from the mid somehow and give me something to hang my hat on and say, hey, I'm the 3rd seed. I don't know. Like,
I'm telling you, man, even then it's going to be the almighty 4 seed part 2. Like, I'd
rather win games than lose.
Yeah, I'm saying you're more like if you go on a 7-game winning streak, the probability that the front office takes those draft picks and trades them for a Zach Lavine or a superstar and makes that kind of move goes up. We know that whatever kind of move you make right now, like the Knicks are 2 moves away from really winning. They're not 1 move away. So if you trade all the picks and everything for one guy, I'm telling you, it's going to be a freaking disaster. And like I said in someone's space, if front office and Thibodeau said, listen, we're going to prioritize development, we're going to draft these guys, right? And we're going to build through the draft. Don't worry about it. We promise we're not going to trade the picks. Then I'd say win every game, whatever, do whatever the hell you want. You want to make the playoffs, make the playoffs, go deep in the playoffs. But I don't trust them, like you said. I don't trust them to not mortgage the future prematurely. Premature win now moves, it's been the biggest problem. And if they keep on winning, it's just more and more likely to happen. So it's like
I don't know, bro. I feel like this franchise is cursed in a weird way. Like, I was watching old highlights of Ben Gordon, getting getting a buzzer beater on us, and they were like the Mount Vernon kid. Like, I just feel like the Garden is like destined to be this place where you platform yourself as a visitor and not as like something to behold as, you know, an identity. And even so that this team is playing good defense and they're holding teams under 100 points, there's just something missing there, you know?
Bro, it's no pop. It's just fucking bad.
Yeah, it's just something missing. It's not exciting, you know?
Yo, like last Sunday, bro, it might have set us back years, man. Because I feel like I really believe in my heart of hearts, if we'd have lost that game to the Cavs last Sunday, we'd be in a completely different situation.
Think about how nuts that is, though. Think about it. Like one game,
bro,
dictates the future of whether or not we should keep someone. And that's where Knicks fans lose me, and that's the whole feather in the wind bullshit that I fucking hate. It's like you gotta zoom out and really like understand what's going on here, right? And it's like people always get stuck in the now. Like if your opinion changed on the Knicks after 4 games where each of those teams didn't have their best, or in the case of the Hornets, they didn't have any of their team, right? Then it's like, you know, what are we doing here? Like, do you really have a principle? Are you really philosophically aligned? Or are you just like, oh, they play good, yay, they lose, no good? You know what I mean? And it's just like,
so I also think another factor in this is the teams around us in the standings, right, are swaying the perspective, right? Like, look at the teams that we're next to, right? The 76ers, they're not rebuilding. They're in win now mode, but they're 14-12. So it justifies our 14-13.
But they're coasting. That's the thing. It's like
I'm not saying that their end game is 14-12. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying because of where we are in the standings, like the Hawks, you know, we're talked up. They're 14-14. Okay. The Miami Heat are 13-15. They're in the 10th seed. So it makes, you know, us as an organization, it makes fans feel like, hey, you know, everyone else is going through some bullshit and they don't have draft picks, you know, but we have draft picks, and hey, you know, we're winning games, and you know, it opens the door for more tolerance for not committing to one way or the other. And
how do you think that the conference shakes out? You're mentioning a couple records. So now, right now, the conference is Celtics 1, Bucks 2, Cavs 3, Nets 4. Nets woke up big time. Sixers 5, we're in 6 at 14-13. Hawks 7, Pacers 8, Raptors 9, Heat 10, Bulls 11, Wizards 12, Magic 13, Hornets 14, and Pistons 15. Who are your top 7 teams in the East?
I think the Raptors and Heat find a way to get in for sure. I don't know if that's through the play-in. I think they make the playoffs. Those 2 teams. Those are the 2 teams that are on the outside that I think are going to figure it out and get in. And
honestly, bro, I honestly think the Knicks are the 10th best team in that group.
If every team is fully focused and fully healthy, and you're playing an important game,
maybe they're better than the Pacers.
Yeah, fair, exactly. But it's all about that. And before I want to move on to before we move on to the Reddish trade talk, Fournier and Kuzma, Poppa, you're just quick answer. Do you think trade deadline? Do you think the Knicks go all in and try to swing for a star, or do you think they stay put, or do you think they shed assets? Are they sellers? Are they buyers? Or they stay neutral?
They're moderate. They're going to look for a big deal, and if they don't get it, they're going to stand pat.
Yeah, they don't shed, bro.
Yeah, they don't. They're not. They're no.
I agree.
It's that they're last year they did this too. Like they were only willing to get off Burks if they could attach, I think, Fournier with them, or they can attach Kemba with them, and Noel. Like they want to get rid of Fournier, Rose, Cam. They want to do it in a huge deal, and I don't think anybody wants Derrick Rose. I don't think anybody wants Evan Fournier. I'm pretty sure no one wants Evan Fournier. I can't speak to Derrick Rose too much, but
I think all right. So before we switch off to the Kuzma topic, shout out to everyone in the chat right now. So we have 44 people in the chat. We have
nice number.
18 likes. So hit that like button. The like button is what gets this thing to the algorithm to pick it up. And when the algorithm picks it up, it spreads it. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Once we get to 500 subs, we're bringing on our first guest. And then we're going to really start putting this is the incubation period. Once we get the incubation period up, we're going to start really putting our pedal to the metal, but we can only do it with you. I want to shout out a couple guys. I want to shout out Killa Kamasaki. Shout out to you. Shout out to Gino. John Talento, my guy, another Knicks Fan TV mod. Rock, shout out to you. Dougie Fresh, of course. Mono Star. JJ from Brooklyn, the original RJ Barrett hater. And Stephen Fox, shout out to you, Foxy. Foxy has a channel also, Stephen Fox. He does it with Sports Vibes TV. Definitely check them out. And hit that like button, subscribe, and share. So, all right, I agree with the Derrick Rose thing. I could see like LeBron James lobbying for D Rose as like a backup point guard in like clutch situations. I don't know, but like I don't think anyone wants him. The thing about Fournier is that he is an expiring deal next year. And if you're a competitive team that just needs a shooter on a short deal, I could see you maybe doing that, but I doubt it. Cam Reddish, my take on Cam Reddish is that Cam Reddish is choosing to sit out right now. He's choosing to sit out because he doesn't want to get himself hurt because he's due for a contract. He's trying to find his next destination, and he wants to go whatever he goes. They want to make sure he can showcase himself. He's not going to risk injury, so he's not going to play. So it's not a Tibbs thing. It's
that sounds so, like whoever is coming up with that decision it's just immature, bro. I don't think that's the right thing to do.
I don't know, dude. I think
the kid needs to play, man. I know that when he was playing before Grimes came here, I know it redefined who he was a little bit. And it kind of made him into this kind of 3-and-D corner guy. But whoever is making this decision, I don't think they're doing right by either one. Like I don't
both parties because the Knicks don't want him to get hurt.
Right by himself. If that's the decision, I don't think Tibbs is doing right by Cam either. And I think the guy should be playing, man. He's developing into this. Everywhere he goes, what's the deal? And it's not good. Like it's hurting him. He should be playing.
The thing about him, he's very inconsistent, and I think he wants to find his perfect situation. I don't think it exists. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, Cam shown flashes, like you said, he's inconsistent. If you can't bring it every night in the NBA, bro, you can't have a job. It's just point blank, period. And what we've seen with Grimes, man, I mean, and I believe absolutely both guys should be playing, but what I've seen with Grimes, man, impressive, bro. Off the catch. Get into the hoop, getting guys involved. His shooting looks good. His defense is amazing.
He's good.
To me, the only two actual NBA players that we have in the lineup is Grimes and Brunson. Tangible guys that have a brain on top of their shoulders. Don't get involved in emotions. Don't get in competition with their own teammates like RJ. Just trying to make winning plays consistently are those two guys. So to me, you got to kind of.
What about Quickley? He's the best net rating on the team every year.
Absolutely.
I haven't. I'm a little off Quickley because when Quickley his first year, I thought he could develop into a real offensive threat, and it feels like the league has kind of cut him off to the spots he wants to get to, and they kind of know where he wants to go. He's turned into this fundamental, defensive player, which is fine, but we have that. We have two of them. And, this team just needs more punch. It needs more diversity. What Randall is doing right now is amazing. I'm not going to take it away from him. He's actually playing.
That shit ain't sustainable,
you could argue Randall's playing better than he was during the COVID year in terms of the. I'm sorry.
I don't think so.
You could argue it.
You may be able to argue it, but I don't think you win in that debate, dude. I think we forget what that guy was doing.
No, because of the variable because of the variable of there being no fans in the stands and the fact that he's carrying this team amidst being 10-13.
Yeah.
And yeah, the competition is trash. What it is, but he's not missing, bro. He makes some shots that are just ridiculous. But it's not sustainable. The team can't go to Jalen Brunson every night. Clearly Brunson is not. This is what I was trying to tell people from day one. Brunson is not this guy that's going to gather the troops and lead them on a night-to-night basis.
Right.
And he's not really this guy that is going to get his points in a tilt the floor kind of way. He's going to get his one-on-ones. He's going to score. He's going to shoot well. But the team needs something else, that's just missing a dynamic. It's not going to be Cam. It's not going to be Quentin Grimes. It's not going to be Immanuel Quickley. It's not Deuce McBride. It's
no one on the team. It's no one on the team.
No one on the team, yeah.
Superstar. That's what we need.
But I don't even think it has to be a superstar.
No, you know what it does? It needs to be a guy, Papa. It needs to be a guy where when it gets really tense situation, right, and they're up in your face and they're playing the best defense they've played all season, that guy can beat his man off the dribble, collapse the defense, and either score or get an open shot. And I think that it takes a superstar skill set.
Yeah. No, we don't have one. We really don't have one of those. Like I've been watching. Like last night, I watched Cleveland, not Cleveland, LA versus Boston, right? And it's Boston kind of devolves into this my turn, your turn shit with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and they kind of get the ball and. They get the ball in transition and they look to score, but they get to go off of each other. And then if you look at the team they played in the Clippers, they got Paul George and they got Kawhi Leonard. So we kind of have, Randall. If Randall's hot, you just feed. It's not sustainable. We all know this.
We all know it, dude. And this is the thing, man. You can't.
And when you play in a team every night, every other night for a week and a half straight, and the schemes get narrowed down, the tape is there, adjustments are there. Who can we beat? Because in the playoffs, it comes down to talent. Can guys create shots?
No.
Can guys just out-talent guys? Right. Can we beat anybody in a 7-game series is my question.
No, that's the whole point. That's what I was trying to say.
So what
have the best regular season ever?
I think they can win a game or two. Don't get me wrong. But that's not the point at all. That's not
Brunson will get hot one game and close out a game and win you a game or two. But dude, at the end of the day, that's the whole point. The playoffs is a different game. It's different than the regular season NBA. It's a different game. Like you said, Jay, you need to be able to create your own shots. You need to be able to really beat your guy, be better than the guy guarding you when the guy guarding you is putting everything he has into guarding you. You know what I'm saying? This is not like a freaking Sunday matinee game in New York, all right? This is like playoffs.
I know this point didn't really bounce off what you're saying. I totally agree with what you're saying, Ari. My only thing with this team is I guess the space space is still going. I'm sorry.
We should take calls if anyone
wants I got 2 calls coming up, but I just want to add this. Every time this team has met resistance within a game, they've kind of crumbled.
Yeah, whenever it's like Julius Randle, every time he faces adversity, he throws a temper tantrum. But when things are going well,
that's not good. That's not good,
Bro, Julius, this team, bro, I'm just we counting our days.
Bro, the Celtics lost by 20 last night.
Right.
And they were intense. They didn't change one bit, man. The Clippers just hit a bunch of shots. I don't know if anybody watches these games.
And the Clippers are deep as hell, bro. That's a really deep.
They have a great team, They're a contender. They're sneaky.
Playoffs.
Oh, look at this. We got an interesting comment in the chat.
Yeah.
From a Wizards fan. Shout out to Yusuf. Wizards fan. What do you think of Chris Stapps? Subscribe to the channel, my man. What do you
the Wizards have fallen out of, I don't want to say out of nowhere, but when you consistently win, win more games than you lose over 15, 20 games, the fact that they've gone 1-9 in their last 10 was a little shocking to me.
Yeah.
That was a little shocking to me.
They're tanking, dude, because they don't want to lose.
Playoffs.
I don't know if they're tanking. I just think they overachieved and they're coming back down to earth. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah,
they're right where they need to be, though. They were never supposed to be a top 5 seed or anything like that. They were supposed to be like a 10th, 11th, maybe a 10th.
Half our picks are fake picks. It's ridiculous.
All right, let's go. I think Josh is first, so let's go to Josh. Oh, Josh dropped out. Let's go to Bankhead.
Yo.
Y'all hear him on YouTube? Y'all hear him on YouTube?
Yeah, we good.
Good. Go ahead, Bankhead.
Yo, when it comes to that, the Wizards, while they dropping out, KP and Kuzma, they fighting for who the alpha male over there. You feel what I'm saying? They fighting who could shoot the most shots over there right now. That's why that shit not working. I mean, I don't know if I'll curse on YouTube, but that's why it's not
you're
working.
Good.
Why it's not working in Washington right now? With Bill not there, it's a free for all. I mean, but I think the trade that the Knicks need to make, I think they should trade Cam, they should trade Derrick Rose and Eric Fournier for Tobias. I mean, I feel like we need that small forward, power forward. We could use another half-court scorer when it get tight, I guess, in the playoffs.
I think Tobias has 1 year left, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and the money is good. And we could flip him in the summertime.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I think
true.
Tobias would be the perfect fit. He's from New York. I mean, I think Kuzma cool, but he a spark. Tobias is more consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like he consistent, bro.
Can I ask you a question, Bankhead? What would I understand the Tobias Harris thing from a money perspective and also for you adding another extra, like I was saying, like another extra scorer that's controlled. Like Tobias will miss some shots, but he's controlled in his game. He definitely has game. I'm not caping for him, but I also don't want to disrespect the talent of his level because we don't have a lot of guys like that. But my thing is, like, I like the idea of the money. I like the idea of the veteran, and a veteran who can, sit in that locker room and actually do something. Not Derrick Rose, where it's like, you clearly, met your mark. You've kind of hit your ceiling at 34. It's done. You know what I mean? So I wonder, is there another guy out there that I can compare to Tobias Harris at that level?
Yo, Papa, but you gotta think about it. Tobias already used to standing in the corner next to James Harden.
Right.
He run pretty much the same offense as the Knicks do.
Right.
He already used to it. I mean, he already used to Joel Embiid shooting 30 shots. You need players that's already used to Joel Embiid shooting a lot, James Harden shooting a lot, Max is shooting a lot. So he know how to get his in that role already.
Right. That's a very good piece. I just wonder, would the motivation be there for Philly, because Philly's playing really slow. There's not a lot of wiry talent on their team. Maybe if we include, could you include somebody from a young player and maybe take back something else? I don't know if they would want Fournier.
They need shooting bad, bro.
They need shooting. They got Cork Moss. They got
not enough. Not with guys that got that kind of usage. With Embiid and Harden, man, you need that floor completely spread, bro.
Yeah.
What
do you think, Ben? What do you think?
I'll make the trade for Tobias. I don't think we got to give up no trade capital, because Tobias and Doc Rivers been shaky ever since they got James Harden.
Yeah.
Ever since that boy been over there, Tobias' role for the 76ers has been a little shaky. You know what I mean? He's been a little iced out the offense, but he's still averaging 16.
Right.
I mean, he's in the corner. And we don't even got to start him. You know what I mean? And he'll be a good veteran next to somebody like Obi, where he could be a projected Obi type of player. You know what I mean? He got the body size. He can go small ball next to Randall. He just fit in so many ways, and I feel like we would trade him at any given time.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you guys think about Miami? What do you think they're going to do?
Miami's done, bro.
Yeah, Miami's window's passed, I think.
I fucking cook, bro. Because you can't. I mean, they locked into that team, bro. No draft capital, no money. This is what the Knicks want to do. It's like the Knicks, they're looking to do the same type of thing.
Look, if the Knicks made 2 finals and they fucked up and they had to fucking tear it down, I'd fucking take it.
Of course. But I'm just talking about like the ideology of having guys in the same age group and the same kind of like thought process. They kind of lock it.
Think of Minnesota.
I think those both teams that's going to tear it down in the summertime. If they got to trade Bam and they got to trade Jimmy Butler, I think Miami will do it.
Yeah, I think those are two teams. I mean, everyone's talking about the Lakers, but, we probably have the best relationship, obviously, of the three with the Lakers. I don't see the Knicks making a move with Miami. I could see the Knicks making a move with Minnesota. I can definitely see the Knicks making a move with Los Angeles. Either one, by the way. The Clippers as well.
They were last year because we took on some dead money for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
In theory, yeah.
That's it, bro. Like, I mean, if you want to build a playoff team, the last teams in the playoffs last year, Phoenix, Dallas.
What about would you want DeRozan?
Miami.
Everyone's talking about Lavine. Would you want DeRozan?
Let me explain what kind of players we need, and we can get into DeRozan. Guys that can go get their own stuff. Phoenix, Dallas, Golden State, Memphis, Miami, Philly, Milwaukee, and Boston. Right? All those guys have shot creators. You talk about shot creators, you get into DeRozan, but I mean, where does DeRozan really get us in the long term? Like, how do we really develop this thing out?
I mean, he's right on there with the mid timeline, right? He's there with the mid timeline.
He's in his 30s too.
They went bunching the work because they operate in the same space.
Yeah, well, we're already living in that weirdo reality. We would have to consolidate if we wanted to actually play basketball the right way, but we're not going to do that. What do you guys think of Miles Turner? Yeah.
Only because next
you got to move Mitch.
We got to move Mitch. But if we could make a trade where we could keep Mitch off the bench and trade Isaiah to Indiana or something, because at the end of the day, when you got the mid four,
bro, if we could space the floor at the center, bro, and we could still have good defensive unit at both sides with Miles Turner and Jericho Sims, bro, I would do that. But I don't know enough about Miles Turner to be caping for him like that. I just know that he can space the floor. I've seen him hit the three. I don't want to shoot it. It's just he's like a realistic threat out there,
What's Miles Turner's contract?
Hold on, Ari. Bankhead just have one more thing. It's a great call, Bankhead. Great call. Go ahead.
Yo, about the Minnesota thing, right? If we could trade Derrick Rose, Cam, and what's his name, Evan Fournier for D'Angelo Russell, just for a rental, would y'all do that? If it get bad in Minnesota?
No, I don't want.
Tibbs wouldn't do it. I don't think Tibbs wants any part of the.
Rental, though.
Yeah, it would be like a CJ McCollum style move. I like D'Angelo Russell, by the way. I think he's a dynamic player. I like him.
Yeah, I don't want to with Russell.
Appreciate that.
Now, I'm just looking at all the veterans that could be on the move with that big money, or 3 of our players that we trying to trade.
What about John? What do you think about John Collins?
Nah.
That'd be an interesting one.
He don't got no ISO. He be Mitchell Robinson. He don't got no ISO game.
Yeah, but you
Better
could
version of Obi Toppin.
Yeah. Speaking of Obi, what do you guys think happens with Obi?
I think
Trade him.
I'm not trading Obi. I think I haven't.
You want to hold out on trading Randall again?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Do I want to hold out? Bro, I want to trade this guy tomorrow, bro. That's what I would do.
I feel like Jay, I wanted to hear from Jay from Florida real quick before I got to Josh. Why are the Knicks just not going to trade Randall?
A multitude of reasons, brother. It's a multitude of reasons. You have to get a team that's going to believe in that money long term. He has such a tight-knit relationship with CAA and the group that runs the Knicks. He has a tight relationship with Dolan. There's a lot of things keeping Randall in New York City, bro. And it's more than basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see a team committing to Randall long term like how we did. I don't see that relationship going sour with CAA and Leon Rose and West and all the guys that he.
If it wasn't known before the year, the main thing that I've learned is like Randall's the man.
He is, bro.
He is the man of this franchise, bro. It is not. We can make all the jokes we want and we could make all the assessments of him being the man. But don't make no mistake about it. Like, he is the face of the franchise.
He could definitely walk around in his drawers at midnight, no problem.
Yeah, no, he got thrown out, and like the conversation was, well, when I see him get upset, I think I saw Reddit quote RJ's like, I gotta go grab him. It's on me. Like, come on, bro.
A mostly peaceful ejection, of course.
But the real reason I don't think Randall got a real value because a lot of NBA teams is using a lot of players that don't got no name no more. Like, even though Miami not winning right now, but their whole team is like role players. Like, I think that the players are starting to teams are coming with more team systems. You know what I mean? It's not about the names no more.
Well, if you have a deep bench in the NBA, it's an asset because you watch some of these games. I was watching a lot of the Celtics games, and it's like the fact that they don't have Horford, it exposes like they got Grant Williams, they got Malcolm Brogdon, absolutely studs off the bench. Like, I'm not the biggest Brogdon fan, but he can play, man. He could play. But after that, you kind of like you get the Hauser guy. You got Noah Vonleh, Luke Cornett. Like, the benches get thin quick when you're top heavy.
Against us, so he ain't no slouch, bro. He can shoot.
No, he's not a slouch, but like when you've identified what he is, it's like Steve Novak. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't do shit but shoot.
Right.
Peyton Pritchard, they're cool, but if you get an injury, you can't withstand shit. That's how I would sell these players. I'd be like, hey, you want Cam Reddish? This guy could play 35 minutes. Just pop off the bench and play 35 minutes. It'll be his opportunity. Like Evan Fournier, the guy hasn't played in months, and I have highlights of him hitting big shot after big shot after big shot. So,
have we identified a guy that we can go out and get in the trade market yet? I mean, we've been talking about it.
There's no one. Even if there was someone available, there's 3-4 difference makers in the league. Everyone else is not worth our time, bro. Honestly, really, like
it'll come, but it won't come via trade. It'll come through the draft if they're smart.
They ain't smart, bro.
Dude, the reason why the Pelicans are really good, all right, is because they drafted Anthony Davis and then they traded him for Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, 2 other guys, and like 5 draft picks, one of which turned out to be Zion. One of them's going to be Wembanyama or whatever. And like,
here's what I think, Ari. And maybe it's because I'm a little high.
Starts with the draft always.
I'm with you, and maybe it's because I'm a little high, and I'm gonna go to Josh. I promise I'm gonna go to Josh. Jay from Florida. I hope you're listening. All right.
Don't go 10 minutes right now.
I'm not gonna go 10 minutes.
All right.
But looking at the crop of talent that's out there, and looking at the value we'd have to give up to get that talent, wouldn't it just make sense to just go all in on this year's draft, and then when those players are ready to go, like get like 2 studs. Try to find a guy at 7 and a guy at 11, and just go in on those guys. Right? Trade your future picks. Go in on those guys. That way, when those guys develop, they develop in a winning system. And when it's time for the Knicks to improve, they have either clear books, right? They'd have clear books, or they would have more manageable contracts.
Wait. You got to say that again. It's interesting what I think you said. So you're saying wherever we land in the draft,
forget SGA, forget Devin Booker. All these guys, they're going to come in situations where they're capped. Every single one. You can't get multiple. You can only get one, right? So why not use your multitude of draft picks to be aggressive and move up and identify someone in the draft that you can pay like literally $10 million, $8 million a year, and they develop in a winning system. You can still keep Tom Thibodeau. You can still be competitive, but don't get me a guy that's ready to ball out. You know what I mean?
It's very interesting. All right, so before you, Jay, I've actually never heard that before. Here's the thing. It's a risky move. Now, if you're right, like if it works, it's the best move to make because you're getting good talent on low salary. It's the best move to make if you hit. If you miss, then you're like the reason. Like that's the thing. Like the Knicks are the type of team that they would get this like second pick in the draft and they could draft like Scoot Henderson, but they would trade it for like an all-star right now. Like just because they want to mitigate their risk and get a sure thing instead of taking a shot that someone would miss. So the Leon Rose would never he's not that's a cowboy. That's like a cowboy type move, Papa. But listen, in a deep draft, I don't know anything about the draft, so I can't give you an answer to that.
I know it's a different sport and it's way more people, but think about what the Jets did, right? The Jets identified 4 guys this year that they said, all right, we're trading our future first. We're trading our future seconds. Like we're getting Garrett Wilson, we're getting Sauce Gardner, we're getting Jermaine Johnson, and we're getting Breece Hall, all on day one. Like, and it changed the value of the franchise. Now, I'm not comparing football to basketball.
Right.
I'm saying
I'm going to ask
the aggressiveness could pay off big time, if you hit. And it probably is going to be that type of draft where if you're standing at 13 and you have 13, 15, and next year's 16, and you want to move up to 9 because you've identified somebody, I'm sure a team at 9 would say, hey, this draft is loaded. I'll take more picks. I'm not really.
Right. I'm asking the chat. All right. So the chat, I just put it in the chat. Would you rather use the picks to move up in the draft or trade for a high-paid star? Put a 1 if you want to move up in the draft, and put a 2 if you want to pay. Put move up in draft or high-paid star. Put it in the chat, and we'll see what's right.
It's Bankhead wants to.
That's dangerous, man.
Hold on, Bankhead.
Look. If you look at Phil Jackson, man, people talk shit about Phil Jackson falling asleep or at workouts and all that, but Phil Jackson was in the game of making the Knicks better long term. Phil Jackson had to get on the table to get Devin Booker and then get the 4 pick so he could draft Larry Markkinen. And we've seen how those 2 players turned out. We're talking about a completely different franchise if they allow him to do that move. So this front office is risk averse. They're not going to invest in the draft. They're not going to get bad. They're not going to lose enough games with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's playing with 1 foot right now, right? This guy is on the court every night. Like, they're not going to lose enough to get us in position where we can pick real impact players. So, to me, bro, unless Dola comes down and says, yo, y'all get the hell out of here. Give me a real front office. Give me futurists. Give me guys that's going to invest in our assets. Because
I really believe we got to go to Bankhead, and then I want to go to Josh, right?
Bankhead talk?
Let me tell you the difference in the Knicks right now, right? So the Knicks do with money, right? Right? You got some dudes that put their money in the high yield savings account, and you got dudes that just keep it in a regular savings account. So we got all these assets in a regular ass savings account instead of putting them in a high yield savings account to really bank on them, right?
I bonds, pal. I bonds.
Whatever.
Ari, everyone knows that you're a financial guru, okay? I like when Jay from Florida pops in and says shit like
high yield. No, yeah, it's safe. But I'm saying if the Treasury bills are paying 4%, you might as well do that too. Then I don't know.
Imagine sitting down, you shake Jay from Florida's hand at Chase Bank, and he welcomes you to. Is that what you do? Like you welcome them, you have little private meetings and shit, or you just work?
So I'm a corporate banker. So I'm a client service manager. So I travel around. I'm traveling next year. I see the treasurers at Walmart, at Madison Square Garden Company. I kiss their ass. I tell them how great they are. Take them to dinner. Ask them what else they need. I pretty much facilitate the banking for major corporations.
I would love to.
Dude, everyone's saying draft, by the way. Draft.
Bro, we don't have that. We don't have that.
Boys, though, Ari. Of course they're saying yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. It's resistance here. It's crazy. It's funny.
There's literally dudes on Spaces, man, like elated that we're winning these games, and they don't care. Like, ask somebody, like, all right, if we make the playoffs and get washed in the first round, what happened? What do you think? They say,
Josh, what's going on? I gotta get Josh. What's going on, Josh?
What's going on, fellas? Just wanted to quickly jump over here and say I like the conversation. I like it being pushed. We jump up here. We talk about what we always want all the time, as far as tanking and everything. But we know this front office is not doing that, man. And with them winning these games on this win streak, Julius Randle playing how he is, and even Brunson playing how he is with his injury, I really feel like they're about to lean into that. I think Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson are what this front office sees as like the main building blocks, and everybody else is there to support them. Of course, they will love to see RJ Barrett, blossom into something that, they can also consider a building block. But I think if the right trade presented itself, he's out of here to bring in a real guy.
That's why I say go in on this draft, because you could appease the whole system, right? You can appease keeping RJ here. You can keep Randall here. You can keep Brunson here. You get yourself a wing, right? You get yourself a three that's going to slide into the starting unit, and it's very clear, right? Or a two, right? And you slide up RJ at the three, and you just go in, man, and you get a nice.
You could do. I just figured it out. You could take half of the picks and use half of the picks to move up a little bit, and save half of the picks for not a superstar, but like a star or whatever. And you could do a little bit of both, maybe.
Yeah, but then that changes what kind of player you want to get, right? I would put the focus on the draft and identifying a player that could potentially lead the franchise, right? So could develop into that. But while he's here in a winning environment with Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, or what, that nucleus, if we're gonna have this nucleus and it's gonna be mid, right? How can we make it not mid, right?
Get rid of the nucleus and add assets, and then use those assets.
And then you can slowly get off the nucleus. These guys aren't
I know, dude. I know.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm aware. I know.
Definitely not going anywhere. RJ, I don't think.
No, RJ can't get traded to July anyway.
Go in with him. I think they're going in with him.
They have to. They need to. He's too young. They can't trade him, and especially right now, they can't. It's too low. But with the Randall thing, dude, I know they're not trading Randall, bro. I'm aware of that. But the thing is, I use this platform is not to like a grift or a money thing. It's like I just want to change the perception around the Knicks. So I'm going to always get up here and say, whether or not I know it's going to happen or not, I'm always going to get up here and say what I believe in to pressure the front office, to do my part. I'm doing my part, all right? I need everyone else to do their part. But listen, bro, trade Randall, slide in Obi. Let's see what he has. Let RJ get a little bit more touches. At least he's playing better lately. He's not complete ass like we thought he was. He's okay. It's fine. He doesn't have to be a superstar as long as he's a good player, whatever. Draft your players. Don't mortgage the future. Reset rookie contracts.
But I'm not talking. But I'm not talking about. We're not talking about a player you draft. We're kind of lost. I think we drafted Obi, which was a lottery pick, right? It would be somebody like Obi, but you're in a deeper draft, and you should be able to identify a guy, right? But we've drafted Grimes at 25, Quickley at 25, Sims at 58, Dukes at 36. Like, these aren't high-profile guys that must come in and play. We have to do the Obi pick over again in a different context of a different team. Bankhead, what was your take on that?
I'm just saying, like, the first move would be, like, get rid of Tibbs, right? Well, even if we don't get rid of Tibbs, your core right now is Brunson, Barrett, Grimes, Randall. That's the core, right? So being that you got the Derrick Rose.
You're going to throw Mitch in there, right?
I ain't going to throw him in there because he could change at any given time. I think he's the only changeable piece in that strong lineup at this moment.
Right. Good call.
Because of the spacing thing. You feel what I'm saying? But say, like, all right, you go make a move. You do the Tobias trade, right? Now you still got Quickley. You got Obi. Now you can still move them again and get another guard, right? Now you still got your Washington. I mean, you got your Dallas pick and you got your Knicks pick. That's probably like 12 and 14 or however it come out. So now you got that 4 with 2 more draft picks with Tobias, and sometimes you can probably trade him again. Now you got a team that's like 8, 9. So let's give Thibodeau what he wants if he's gonna be here. You want to do a 9-man rotation? Let's give him the strongest 9-man rotation that's possible. You feel what I'm saying? Let's try to get Miles Turner for Mitchell Robinson if we could. Give Randall and them that space you need, or whoever else that's available that can block shots and hit the 3.
Yeah, I feel like we're just all kind of like supremely looking at this shit now, and it's just gonna make the Zach Lavine deal so much fucking worse.
Dude, it's every win, man. Every win. It's one step closer.
You can't take us turn and keep Mitch Robinson, bro. You can't. You gotta sacrifice that money.
We're looking at all these different ways to rebuild.
By the way, Papa.
What I'm saying
Dude.
is, we don't really got to rebuild. As long as if we can win as much games and wait out, the Greek Freak and the Celtics and all that, we ain't gonna beat them no matter who comes to New York. We gonna go first.
That's why I would go in on the draft.
If we continue that, but you still got the Knicks pick. If we middle out like 14 to 15, that's still a good pick. Now you don't got the pressure of playing somebody like the Obi because he's a pick. He gonna come in with different. Levels of playing time. If you get the 15 pick, you ain't gonna trust. Obi got to be playing for Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? But when you get 15 picks,
watch Masai tear it down, bro, because he knows he can't compete with these guys. So he's gonna tear it down and build around Scotty Barnes, bro. Like teams are gonna wait. They're gonna do it properly. They're gonna wait out these guys. Shaw's gonna draft another guy. Pelican's gonna draft another guy. Like teams that already have like a good starting point are gonna invest in the draft another guy, and when it's time to compete, when these older teams fizzle out, they're gonna be ready to go, bro. And the Knicks are still gonna be middle of the road. This is why the thinking of the front office and his coaching staff, bro, baffles me, bro. But you can't build a team like this. The shit does not work, man.
Just right. But with the exception of, I'm gonna give you a couple teams that are like clearly going to be at the bottom of the draft and clearly are lining up for it, right? The Rockets, the Spurs, the Thunder, okay?
Magic.
The Rockets, the Spurs, the Thunder, and then you got the Pistons, the Hornets, the Magic, the Wizards. So you got 7 teams right there that are clearly pivoted to getting Wembanyama, okay? Or getting Scoot. And they're gonna get halfway through the season. It's gonna get even worse. It's gonna get even more.
The odds say 8th or if you're in the 8th or 9th spot within the top 8 or 9 odds, you're good. Because they have a higher likelihood of jumping into the top 4. And if you do worst case scenario, you're still like a top 10, top 11 pick. Worst case scenario, and you're within striking distance to trade an extra pick to move up 2 or 3 slots. Like right. That's what we should be targeting.
The question is, right? The Knicks, if they here's the fuck. Ari, you're hilarious. The fucked up part about this is that the Knicks could end up with literally 2, like a 15 and a 17, and that's not going to be good enough to move up.
No, it's not. Or we could be a fucking like I don't even know why we're going with the whole. Let's just trade a pick and move up. Why don't we just like tank and like not?
Bro, they're not
going to do that. They're not.
We can't. I know. I'm just saying like
they're not going to do what I'm suggesting either. Don't get me wrong. They're not going to do what I'm suggesting.
Jade and Ivy just happened a couple months.
They're going to outtake the team that's tanking. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they're
because
just not.
We still get a last pick of the lottery. If we get the Dallas pick, they mid. We get the Knicks pick. We still in the lottery, but we just not high in the lottery. So we already getting 2 picks to the mid-4. Then you still got Quickley and Toppin. You got to consolidate that right there. You know what I'm saying? Mitch, Quickley, Toppin, make a trade from there. You know what I'm saying?
They might do it. They might do that at the deadline, man. They might fuck around and do that at the deadline. I definitely can see Quickley going, man. I can see it.
The Knicks got 2 trades they can make that consolidate. You could do Cam, Derrick Rose, Evan, then you could do Mitch, Quickley, and Toppin. Those 2 trades you could consolidate to either add to the tanking or add to the mid-4. But they could go both ways and still get 2 end of the draft lottery pick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The mid-4 is hilarious.
Absolutely.
Dude, by the way, Papa, that space when we were in where you and Stay were going back against Mitch, you slaughtered him. Don't think about State. Don't let him antagonize you. Like his take is terrible, bro. I'm not gonna trade RJ for Luka. Get the hell out of here.
State's a huge Knicks fan, man.
Yeah, I love it. No, State's great, but I'm just saying, like, don't back down from that take. I think
State has a connection to Mitch that kind of like leaks in the fan. Yeah.
Important question that I've seen on the timeline the last couple of days. Now they're saying they're happy because the kids are playing and it's leading to wins. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like it's cardio, or do you feel like these are meaningful minutes and they're really impacting the game?
Talking about?
They're saying that on the timeline. They're saying that they're happy with the wins because the kids are playing meaningful minutes and impacting the wins. But is it just cardio for the kids? Are they really developing, or are they just? Is it cardio or are they really developing?
Role players.
But yo, Jay Florida, they not happy that the kids are getting cardio. They happy that RJ is finally coming around. They just don't want to say that part. Because Grimes and Deuce ain't really doing nothing. I mean, they just happy RJ starting to play better.
It's a lot of cardio, man. These kids ain't getting no shots, man. So I can see why they're saying that, but I mean, if you ain't getting Grimes 15 to 20 shots a night, if guys ain't really getting to put it up like that, they're pretty much just running up and down the court, bro. So it don't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens.
No, bro, it's the play. Look, they had a play the other night where Randall got the ball and he swung it to Quickley in the corner, and that was actually fun. Like I enjoyed watching that. But they don't play like that. They just don't. So the defense is cool. The defense it teaches you a lot about the game of basketball for sure. You know, when you have effort, integrity on your assignments and you're consistent, like you're gonna make a team miss shots and think about their next pass more than they probably should, and you're gonna win. But you know that should be a given when you play for the Knicks. To be honest, it really should be a given. Like if Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish, and Derrick Rose bring it on the defensive end every night, and they're not worried about their offense, I'm sure we would play really good defense. It's just the culture and the control and the organization was just all over the place coming into the season. It really shouldn't surprise anybody, but what it is. They've kind of corralled it into a normal basketball look, but is what it is. They're kind of doing the right thing, but like in the most fucked up scenario.
No, shout out to Smoking Nick. The Smoking Nick has very different opinions than us. I can see him in the chat. Dude, the Smoking Nick, follow Poppa Left, myself, and Jay from Florida on Twitter, and call into the show. I would like to hear your opinion on your philosophy, because I'm always down for good discourse and always hearing the opposite side of the coin.
Ari is thirsty for blood, man.
No, I just want to hear the opposite end of the argument, because every time I ask someone who's like an ass shaker or whatever, and it's like we're going to the trip or whatever, every time you ask them, it's like, all right, like how do we build a championship contender? Like they don't have an answer. Like, all right, tanking doesn't do it. All right, no tanking. All right, you don't want to get rid of Randall. All right, you want Kuzma. All right, how are we winning a chip? You ask them that, they don't have an answer.
Like Tony doesn't
have an answer to that. It's just like crazy.
No, the thing is that when you put somebody in that position, the best comeback I've heard is that tanking doesn't guarantee you anything, and then they go to the success rate of tanking winning a championship.
Right.
And I feel like there's two things that go on in these conversations. One, people are looking at it from a Nick-centric perspective. Like, oh, we didn't win the lottery 7 years ago, or Michael Sweetney or Jordan Hill. Like, that has nothing to do with the next draft. It literally has nothing to do with anything. Ping pong ball could go your way this time. You could draft a good player this time. You could not draft someone you don't need. Like you could be functional this time around. But
right,
if you're going to admit your front office can't draft make a big decision and make the right draft pick when the consequences are dire, then what the fuck are you celebrating?
What's your at Live by Kelly? What is it? Your Twitter?
Ari's trying to get a little battle of fans going on.
No, he's just so he has he's just so you follow you and you could
live like Lefty. I don't know where Kelly came from.
What is he?
Battle. I'm honestly not trying to battle. I'm just saying. I'm just curious to hear the other perspective. I want to see if you can answer that question. That's the simple thing. But I listen at the end of the day, for me, I just know that everything we're talking about right now will mean absolutely nothing come June. All that matters is where we land in the lottery, or if we make the playoffs, what draft pick we get. And all that happens is, like you said, Papa, it's the value, dude. Like, listen, if Obi Toppin comes back and, like, Randall gets hurt, or let's say, Brunson's out for a little bit, Quickley goes off, unless there's, like, real development and the assets really
be a long year. I think Obi's stepping into Cam Reddish land, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, no one has gotten the shortest end of the stick than that guy. He's the one guy on the team, the only guy on the team. Is Obi Toppin is the only guy on the team I could say legitimately got no fair chance to the Knicks. Quickley got a shot, RJ got a shot, Grimes getting a shot. Cam had his chance. I'm sorry, dude.
How can you destroy your own lottery picks like this though? Like
that's crazy.
You got to say your tagline about young players in the Knicks.
They die. That's where they go to die, bro. I keep saying it, bro.
Dude, it's crazy what we did to Obi Toppin. Insane,
bro.
Insane.
Lottery pick the last 10 years they have went to the Knicks to die.
But here's the thing, Kevin Knox, to his credit, he got a chance, bro. I remember that first year, he was like the main guy. Obi Toppin doesn't get more than 10, 11 minutes a night forever. And the time he does play 20 minutes.
Kevin Knox was damn near 17 that first year, bro. He had just turned 18, bro.
Are they still giving him shots? Why are they giving Obi shots? Dude, it's the Randall situation.
Bro, Kevin Knox needed 3 years with a real coach consistently to see something out of him, bro. They gave up on him too early. They give up on all these players too.
I think it's kind of poetic. I think it's kind of poetic that you bring up Kevin Knox because we also have, Kevin Knox is from Tampa. Jay from Florida is in Tampa. And we actually have Tampa's very own OG Mario on the line. OG Mario, what's going on?
How you doing? Poppa Left and everybody else here and Talk to Boys. I've been listening, but here's one question for you. I know we're letting Cam go very cheap, right? What, two second-round picks?
Right.
What would happen if he don't go?
Shit.
What would happen if he don't get traded?
Just on the bench, Mario. Listen, Tibbs, like I said earlier in the show, Tibbs has alienated half the roster, right? Half the roster, he can't even ask to play anymore. He just completely shit on them. So he has to invest in these guys that he has right now, and he has to pray that they stay healthy. Because if I'm Cam Reddish, bro, I don't even want to play.
Right.
I wear a hoodie for the rest of the game.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I think Harvey. I don't mean to interrupt. We want to see the best for him to go someplace and make some money, because we know the player he is. At least I do. I think.
Well, Mario, I think he should go with LeBron.
Yeah, because they need a shooter. They need,
maybe he can take. Maybe LeBron can take Cam under his wing.
Well, yeah, and he wants him, and LeBron usually gets what he wants, But just that scenario. Suppose he don't go, man. What's gonna happen to him?
What's gonna happen with Cam? It's starting to sound like a children's book,
Yeah, I mean he got a raw deal, I think. But there was times he didn't look too good out there. I mean, but the games he did play, he played good defense, and he can get the ball to the hoop. If he don't got a shot in the corner, he goes to the hoop in 3 steps. He's there.
Absolutely.
But, I don't know. I just think about him now. If he don't get traded, what's gonna happen?
We gotta get him to LeBron. We gotta send him to the Lakers.
Yeah. As far as the rest of the team goes, I think we go with what we got right now. We try to make a trade with Fournier, get rid of him, get rid of Rose. Hopefully Cam can go in a deal too, a good deal to a good place like LA. Don't trade to Miami. Don't trade to Miami. Just, they're not playing well, but they'll be there in the end, and let Randall go, man. He's our hottest guy on the team, He's having a comeback year, and we knew this was going to be. So we didn't know if he was going to make a comeback, but I mean, he's surely proven he can. He lost it a little bit mentally the other night, but he complains every call anyway, But he just overdid it.
Mario, if you had to give one piece of advice to Julius Randle, what would it be?
Go back home to Texas.
There you go.
He's from Texas. Go back there. You know, I mean, the Mavericks could use them. You know, I don't know what whatchamacall. Doncic is complaining. He needs help.
Doncic is a ball hog, man. He don't want to shit a ball.
Jay, he is. Listen, you have a point to your standpoint. Kristaps was very difficult to play with Luka because he is high usage. But come on, bro. Like you're not trading the farm for Luka.
No. Nope.
Get the hell out of here. Seriously.
Nope.
He's a lifer there. He's a lifer there.
Papa, you traded the farm for Luka?
No.
Yeah, me too. All right. Just making sure.
I don't know. Is it that Luka's hard to play with, or they just haven't had the opportunity to get a player with him? You know.
Yeah, that's an argument. But he also he dribbles the ball and he just like it's his show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, I know. He's amazing.
He's really good.
Gave Scotty the ball at times. Bro,
it's Jason Tatum. It's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown show.
It's two players.
That's two players. Exactly. That's two players.
But if one of them was out, it would be their show. It's just they happen to be together.
No, I'm trading everyone for Luka.
That wasn't the situation when Brunson was there. He didn't share the ball with Brunson that much.
No, Brunson stayed in the corner. Yeah.
Brunson left.
Yeah, but he's a point guard.
Brunson left. Wanted his own show. He wanted to shine. He wanted to be a hot boy.
Right.
It's what it is.
But he's complaining he don't got no help. That's what he's complaining. They won last night, right?
They're a very weird team. They're one of the more bipolar teams.
Yo, ask Mario if he subscribed to our YouTube channel or not.
Hey, Mario.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, I have.
All right.
You know, how do you operate YouTube, Twitter, Facebook? I was speaking to my brother-in-law on Facebook.
I ain't watch YouTube on TV. I do my whatever you call it on my phone, and then I put it onto my TV. I like to watch it on TV. It's better.
Yeah.
Yo, final thoughts, fellas.
Is that how you fucking great production value, Jay from Florida? Final thoughts.
So, Papa,
yeah.
What are you so high on? You said you're high. What are you on the 7th floor or something?
Well, I'm high.
High on life.
I'm high on the lily pad right now. The reefers.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Brunson's wearing a boot. Did we see that in that picture?
Yeah, he's in that picture with the snow bunnies. He's wearing a boot.
Yo, Ari, you're just fucking wild, bro.
Yeah, the lady are as mid as the team, brother. Jesus.
Wait, can we address the Knicks family wife photo?
They forgot Derrick Rose too.
Yeah, Derrick.
I gotta figure out how to get the thing.
Weeks ago.
Nah, but he got a snow bunny too, though.
Nah, she's
black. She light skinned.
Yeah,
she's black, bro.
Were you on the other night with me and Papa when we were talking, or was that Jay from Florida?
They can look, Mario. With me on the space, everybody can be there.
Yeah, I know, but we were talking, and I was talking about my accident and about my son, and I told you the amount of money I had, and somebody said, "Do you still got that bag?"
That's Jay from Florida.
Yeah, because I thought maybe it was Ari had some kind of investments going on,
Ari has special investment spaces, but you have to subscribe to the YouTube. So it looks like you're in good.
I heard some of them. I think I heard some.
Yeah, listen. The next time the MSG Sports Group puts out an earnings report, I'm going to analyze the whole thing, but only for the people on YouTube. So you got to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that share button, hit that notification bell. For the toxicity.
Who knows? We could possibly be here next Tuesday with JD.
Yeah, I'm gonna put out. I think I'm gonna put out a tanking video. I'm sure that'll be a hit, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, we got to get. Listen, if we get 500 subs, if you're not subscribed to the channel, Subscribe to the channel because if we get 500 subs, Poppa Left and Jay from Florida and Ari and myself are gonna get JD on the show, and we're gonna start taking on guests, right? And when we get guests, we're gonna bring on guests with different, philosophies and thought processes and things like that, and it's gonna make it much more better. So, hit that like button, subscribe, and share.
So next 5 games: Chicago, Indiana, Golden State, and Toronto.
I think there's going to be a good test back to back.
It depends if they're all stars playing or not, or if he's going to get hurt or get COVID or get hit by a bus.
What's the games after the Pacers, Jay?
Golden State and Toronto.
Okay, so
2 and 3.
Back-to-backs are tough in general.
Right.
So you're probably gonna lose one because you're kind of due for a loss, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Chicago's not a pushover. They just haven't won games this year. They lost like in horrific fashion against AJ Griffin the other night.
We play him 3 times in the next 6 games.
It's tough to beat teams like that. They play with a vendetta, I think the Pacers could be a loss just because we don't play well in Indiana. It could easily be 3-0, but it could just as easily be 1-2. And then going forward, those games after, I think Golden State found something with Steph and Clay. I think those guys are getting back in rhythm, and we're getting a lot of new subscribers now. Thank you very much. And also that game against Toronto, the deeper you get, Nick Nurse versus Tibbs. That's all I gotta say.
And then Philly on Christmas Day. So I mean,
I'll take those.
like I'm saying like maybe what 2 and 4, maybe 6 games.
6-0. 6-0.
6-0. The Knicks are 4-0 since me and Jay Boogie did the Christmas video. So put whatever stock you want into that.
Listen, you don't learn from your mistakes, you're bound to repeat them again, and that's what I say about the almighty fourth team.
Do we win on Christmas?
What?
Do we win on Christmas?
Is Embiid and Harden playing?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Embiid's playing this. No. If Embiid's playing, no.
So we got like maybe 3 guaranteed losses in the next week, 2 weeks, 10 days.
What are you laughing at, Nick? Jake? What are you laughing at over there? What's the chat looking like? Real quick, what's the chat looking like?
So shout out to Kenny Payne, the Smoking Nick, Rayology, JJ from Brooklyn, the original RJ hater, Rayology, my guy, IKBM. I know IKBM has been in your spaces, Papa, because he was referring to them. Shout out to you. Who else? We have Eric Suriel, Building Blocks. Shout out to you. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up button. Yusef, Obi fan, hit that thumbs up. Yusef, welcome that. Well, we're lucky to have a Washington Wizards fan, so that's dope. Savage, shout out to you, Andrew, and everybody else. And shout out to the ladies in the chat, Nishi, and yeah. I mean, listen, my final thought is very simple. My final thought is that. I'm trying to make it to whenever the trade deadline is. I'm trying to get past that trade deadline without mortgaging the future. That's what that's my whole goal this year. If I can get to that deadline and I still have all my picks, I'm cool, whatever. That's it. I'm all right. But we can't be selling off those picks to get off of bad contracts. We can't be selling off those picks to sign Kyle Kuzma. We can't be getting off those picks to get Zach Lavine or anyone like that. We need to maintain flexibility. I'd be happy if he shredded the salaries and traded Randall. It's not going to happen. I'd be happy if he did that. But as long as we still have the future, I'm good.
Can I ask my Jewish brothers a question? Do you think Leon Rose being Jewish? do you think he's going to spend enough and be more adventurous to turn this into a winner, or do you think he's going to hoard assets? Right.
Well,
this is serious.
I don't know. I don't think Leon Rose is cheap. Is what you're getting at. I don't think Leon Rose is cheap. I think Leon Rose does care and is not untouchable. I think he cares, and I think he's not untouchable. I don't think he's done the worst job. I don't think he's done the job that people think he's done because it hasn't been the worst job. But I think that he has a lot to prove, and it comes very soon because you can only, sell hope so much before the mob kind of unites.
I'll tell you this much: if not to get into stereotypes, but I think he's probably really keen on risk management, if anything. That's how you make it in the business, in the finance world. Like the highest paid people at all these investment banks, stuff like that, a lot of them in the risk management department, man, because that's how you hedge your risk and that's how you provide safety to your investors. You gotta be able to manage your risk, dude. And so far he's been doing. Listen, I think he's sucked. I think Leon Rose has sucked. I think he's a C minus. But the one thing he hasn't done is he hasn't traded the picks. But once he trades the picks for a Zach Lavine or Carl Towns or whoever it is down the line, whenever it happens, back to the Isaiah Thomas years, back to the whole Phil Jack, just it's done. That's it. Except instead of we'll win a first round series, but then it's done. So I just think that if I can get through the trade deadline without us adding salary, I don't want to add salary. I don't want to trade picks.
Hey Jay, your snow bunny picture is gonna go viral. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go viral. I think it's gonna go viral into another place of Twitter.
I posted
Toppin, a very handsome young dude. He can do a lot better than that chick, man. A lot.
This is toxic as fuck,
bro. Like big hell, bro.
When we were going for Mitchell.
Yeah.
Do you think we had Jalen Brunson locked up, or did that come into play as far as getting Mitchell?
We prioritized getting Jalen Brunson. We did not prioritize getting Donovan Mitchell.
I know, but they were dealing for Brunson, right? They wanted Brunson, but they were also dealing for trying to get Mitchell at the same time. I mean, Brunson was a free agent, right?
Yeah.
We got him as a free agent, so it was only getting him to come with us, right?
Right.
But did that come into play as far as us getting Mitchell and locking it up?
Yeah, it came into play because we wanted to get Donovan Mitchell, but within the right fit, meaning we didn't want to give up Quentin Grimes because we felt like we didn't have the defense to withstand having Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson in the same backcourt.
Yeah, it's so stupid to think that way, though. But, okay, so as soon as we didn't get Mitchell, why the hell didn't he go after Dejounte Murray?
No, Murray left Murray was gone before Brunson got here.
Because he's a clever client, man.
We ended with Mitchell.
Yeah, he was one of the first guys off. He was one of the first guys traded in the offseason.
He's
thought
with clutch.
Mitchell went there. I mean, I thought we were still dealing for Mitchell, trying to get Mitchell, and then boom, I kind of picked up Dejounte Murray. No.
All right, hold on.
Mario, we're gonna close the show. We're gonna host this space after. I got you, bro.
What are you saying, Jay?
Yeah.
Nah, this post is gonna go viral.
Okay.
Oh, the snowboarding post?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think your guy Smoking Nick. I followed him back, but I don't know if he's in here.
No, I don't know. He said I'm in the smoke. I bring the smoke.
Well, I'm in the space. I don't see any smoke.
There's no smoke. I don't know. I posted a video of Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I'm getting people from all over the world right now in languages I've never seen before, like following me, liking, and retweeting me. They have no idea this is like a Knicks page. They have no clue that they're just going to become automatic fans. Some schmuck in Rosario, Argentina is going to become a fan of the Knicks just because.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. You found him?
Wow, that's a crazy fucking scene over there.
Dude, put the volume on.
That's like that's looking wartime fucking chant over there. Jesus.
Dude, no, dude, that's what I'm saying, man. You guys listen. I'm next week I'll be more like analysis Ari right now. I'm still in the World Cup mode. But all right, I gave my closing thoughts. Jay, you gave your closing thoughts. Papa, give your closing thoughts, and then I'll wrap this up.
I don't really got anything, bro.
Yo,
What'd
we
you say?
bored, brother. We just bored, bro. It's just whatever we're watching, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I think they could realistically go 17-13.
They could go 60-20. I don't care.
Yo,
They're
pray
not
for the
gonna-
tank, bro. Pray for Amen
I
Thompson.
think you would care at 60-20.
Amen for Amen Thompson, bro. Pray for the damn tank. Pray for Cam Whitmore. Pray for one of these wings to come to the Knicks, bro. This shit is nasty. Mid women, mid team, mid coach, mid front office. It's all mid, brother.
All right, listen. Shout out to everyone in the chat. We appreciate you. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. From Jay from Florida, Ari from Manhattan. Find us on Twitter. We'll be back here next Tuesday for another episode.
Subscribe. Hit subscribe right now. If you hit subscribe, we can get into the guests and we can turn it up even further. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Like this video. Comment on the video. Rewatch it. Tell your homeboys to rewatch
Share it. Yeah. Get a bot. Make a bot click a bunch of times on it. Whatever you got to do, we're going to do. But
man, I'm tired of being a banker, bro.
You're tired of being a banker?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I love how you just turned into a fucking possessed demon just now with that closing take. I didn't set you up at all, but like you were like, get rid of this mid team. They got mid women, mid coach, mid everything. Yo, make sure you like and subscribe. Like damn.
Nothing about Isaiah Hartenstein's girl though.
Yo, Hartenstein got
Courtney Keller, yeah.
Ovi's doing bad. She's pale. Yuck.
You said yuck.
All right, I'm closing this out. Salute next week. We out.